Yeah. So let me switch my screen. Sure. Sure. Let's share again. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
What are you seeing?
Terraform? Yes.
VS Code.
Yes.
Okay. So Linux, let's look at Linux. On the job, most organizations use Red Hat. Most organizations use Red Hat for their Linux distribution. Linux come in different flavors. So you hear SUSE. The most popular, I believe, is Ubuntu.
Yes.
Ubuntu Linux. There is a Fedora. There is Debian. But for me on the job, the most Linux servers I've worked with are around Red Hat and Oracle Linux servers. So this is a documentation on the different distributions. So you don't bother your head about how you choose this tool. You are not unless you're starting your own business, you can start researching on this, but I don't think if I want to start a business and run a Linux server, I don't think I'll be racking my head. I know what to do. Go to Red Hat, stand up my servers, or Ubuntu, or any of these guys. So many of these Linux servers, they come in as CLIs. They come in as a command line. They don't have that GUI side, but some of them do. And you can also set up the plugins to have a GUI side, but mostly they will come in as CLIs, as command lines. So just running queries, running codes in the backend and manage your servers. So these are examples of the distros, Debian, CentOS. Remember CentOS? This CentOS used to be popular before cloud machines took over the place. Yeah, so Ubuntu. So you don't have to memorize all of this. So if they're asking you in an interview, they don't know what they're doing. All right. So what makes Linux different from Windows is that Windows is locked down. It's locked down to Microsoft. There's nothing like open source. But Linux provides that open source capability where people can collaborate on a project and then push it to the entire forum. So developers can collaborate on maybe updating the servers, adding some features to the servers. They can just collectively contribute to the growth of the resource that is being managed. So most of these Linux solutions are open source. And of course, yeah, so Red Hat, so you can choose Red Hat now in Microsoft. That's interesting. So I'm going to show us some how to set up. Of course, we know how to create our Linux machine. So I already created one. Let me see if it was created. So that I created one. Can you imagine? Interesting. So let's try to create a Linux machine. I'm going to give it a name. It's engineers. Insurance 11 VM. This is going to be in South Central US. No redundancy. So we have Ubuntu, we have Red Hat. So look at it. Debian, Oracle, Red Hat. If you search the marketplace, you might find even more. There's Cloudflare. So let's choose Ubuntu. And you see, you can also see the cost. Microsoft will tell you if you stand up this VM, this is an estimate of what you might be coughing out, eking out on a monthly basis. Now, this is just an estimate. By the time you get down to the nitty-gritty, you might be dealing with other things that will be costing money. But I don't think that should be something to worry about. Your uptime, you are paying for the uptime as well. So how do you connect to Linux machines? SSH. Microsoft is just trying to be funky here, so they added password. I've never tried to use a password to authenticate to a Linux server. So Azure user. So we need a public key to be able to authenticate. Remember key vaults. Remember at when we talk about key vaults, that's where we store secrets. So in a typical enterprise environment, this key that I want to download is going to be stored in Azure Key Vaults for security purposes. So whenever I want to sign in, I'm going to, it's based on scripting. So it's going to go search for the authentication keys in Azure Key Vault. So I'm going to generate a new key pair, give it a name, Oceans 11-KP. Allow, yeah. So we need to be able to connect on port 22. So we have a specified those. Premium. So for VMs, remember I mentioned that they come in different hard disk drives. Premium, solid state, standard, and standard hard disk. So this one is what is popular, especially with physical servers. But of course, now we have laptops that come as solid state. If you check your laptop, it might be a solid state drive. Have you ever tried figure it out? If you check your laptop, it might be a solid state drive. So solid state is more agile, more well, what do I want to say? It's faster in processing speed, is more efficient compared to hard disk drive. So I'm using platform managed key. So I don't have a keyboard, so I won't use a customer managed key. Networking, this VM needs network access, just like your laptops, just like your desktops. your computers have network card. So we are setting up the network access now. So this is the card, network interface card. That's like the SIM card that ensures that connection is established. Second. Six 11 network security group. Okay. So we need a network security group, of course, for managing access to the VMs, no load balancers. So let's go ahead and create. It might take some few minutes. Okay, so pass validation. And so as a developer, sorry, as an engineer, if you are doing this in Azure, so that you can continue to practice, I want you to try this. Before you create, once your deployment passes validation, see if you can download the template, the CLI scripts, the resource manager template for that deployment, and see if you can redeploy in a different resource group or in a different location. Okay. So if you need to automate the deployment in a different location in the subsequent time, remember to download. So this is the best time to download it. Don't download it after you have created. It's going to mess up a lot of things. So that template file has something similar to this. So I need to download that keep here that we activated the other time. So that's the keep here. It comes as .pem. It comes as .pem. So while that is going on, let me show you my VS Code. So this is a Terraform file. Let's see. So let me open for the all right. So if that template file, resource manager template, this is what it's going to look like. So this is one of those C++ projects I did. So this is the template file. This is what it looks like. We said it's going to be created in Central US. Storage account. So this was to create a storage account. So just like you would do in a, oops. just like you would do in the portal, right? Making those configurations is something similar to that here as well. But now we are automating the task. So like this one, I can put it in a pipeline. You know, you hear pipeline. You can put it in a pipeline so that in the area of DevOps, you are not expected to be touching things. So you already have your scripts, you put it in a pipeline, and the system will deploy as is needed, as required. So that's why automation is key right now. Anybody that is good with automation is a hot cake. Bet you if you put Kubernetes you put Kubernetes on your resume, they will start considering that remote thing. So, maybe this person can work remotely, because automation is very key. But from DevSecOps standpoint, you don't have to be a Kubernetes developer. You don't need to have to be a Kubernetes engineer, but you should have an exposure to Kubernetes, right? If you see a Kubernetes workload, you should be able to determine how to secure it, how to secure your Kubernetes environment. And so speaking of DevSecOps, that reminds me. Let me drop this for us. So this is completed. We can go into the VM. So we want to connect to the VM. So this was created in South Central US. It's running on a Linux OS. This is a D-size VM with a public IP. So we want to connect to the VM. There's a popular way of connecting to Linux machines, right? Which is the PuTTY. PuTTY is a bit cumbersome, clumsy for me, so I don't use it. The day I got exposed to, the day I got an exposure to VS Code, I started using VS Code. So I'm going to show you the trick now. So you're going to have a configuration file in your VS Code. You don't have to do it now. Watch the video. So these are VMs these are Linux VMs that I've launched over time. AWS. I even have some in AWS. EC2 user. So these are AWS EC2 instances. So virtual machines in Azure, EC2 instances, Elastic Compute. I can't remember all the other C, but EC2, Elastic Compute servers. That's what they call them in AWS. We'll call them virtual machines in Azure. So I'm going to set up. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to specify the name of the VM, the public IP address of the VM, the username, and the location of that authentication script. So if you see this tilde means home. So this could be /C/Kevin/ then downloads. So how do you navigate to downloads? So that tilde is just a short form, right? Is a short form of saying your home directory. So /home/download/ dot the key, the drive, and then location of the key. So I'm going to do that for this VM. I'm going to put them side by side. So let's try to connect. So you can connect via Bastion service as well. but that one will take a while for it to come up. So this is the public IP. So what I need to do is just create a new. Just create a new file. So how did I get here? So remember, click on your VS Code, click on that icon down there, and then it will take you to configuration, configure hosts. Let me show us here. So once you launch your VS Code, come right here. Can you see my screen? Click this icon. Then you will see connect to hosts. You know, how do you connect to a Linux server? You SSH. How do you connect to a Windows server? Everybody.
RDP.
Army.stuff.
Yes, RDP. So SSH, what is it again? So connect to hosts. So since you also see all those servers. So let's say I wanted to connect because I already have a setup. I want to connect to a Terraform server, so Docker engine, SonarQube, any of these ones. So if I want to add a new host, click on no, not this one. It's the other option. Connect to host, configure hosts. So configure host, then this is the location of the file. users/lincoln.ssh/config. So what do you think is going to be my home directory here? Based on this, so this should be home. This is what I want to call as home. So when I can do tilde or slash or tilde/.ssh/config, but just leave it as it is now. So it's going to bring us back to where we have all of those connection files. So let's try to fix it there. What's the name of the server? Options VM. What's the IP address?
52.
What's the username? Azure user. So always learn to copy and paste, okay? Especially if you are following a documentation in the office. So they said, follow this, run these tasks, right? Type username, try to copy and paste so that you don't make mistakes, so that you don't run into errors. Just unless it doesn't have the capability to copy and paste. Otherwise, learn to copy and paste. Like if I'm adding these numbers now, I might miss it. Maybe I added two additional numbers. And then I will run into errors. I will not be able to determine where that error is coming from. So always just try to copy and paste. Now, this is so what this is saying is that in my home directory, in my this PC /C drive, so there's downloads, right? So this is the location. Now, the one we are using is what's the name? Oceans11vm.pm. So I need to navigate to the location of this of the file. I believe it should also be in downloads. Yeah. So I'm going to copy as path. So this is my home. Can you see? This is the tilde. So what I want to do here, just comment here. If I do, what do you call this one? This one, ladder, or I forgot it. What do you call this sign? You know what I'm saying, right?
What, the hashtag?
Hashtag. Oh. How did I forget? So in a Linux, in a coding, in a programming environment, most of the time, if you don't want a line of code, a statement to be considered as part of the script, just comment it out. So if you put a hashtag, it's going to comment it out. You see it's turned to green, so it won't affect the entire script itself. So I want to do this. I'm just going to do. So I actually created a folder, pen keys, but I don't have it. I'm not doing that right now. I'm just going to do download. It's in downloads. All right, downloads Ocean's 11 p.m. So let's see if this will work. Now you need to save it. Save. So we are going to try to connect to connect to host. So it's going to, so can you see? It's been saved. So I'm going to double click. Hopefully I'm able to connect. Let's pray it connects. It's going to ask me which, so that means you can do this for Windows, you can do this for your Apple. You know, Apple runs on Unix. It's another type of Linux. So if you're using an Apple device, you can also set up this connect. But you know, Apple has its own complexities. So Linux, setting up SSH host. Why? Next. So commit. Yeah. Are you sure you want to continue? Continue. Downloading agent. Yay. Let's ask me something. Yay. Are we there yet? This is the easiest and cleanest, coolest way to connect your Linux server. That PuTTY, it made a mess of my head. My first 2 years in tech using PuTTY. You can check it out. You can look it up on YouTube. I don't use PuTTY anymore. So this is our Linux. So this is where we're going to run our tasks. You know, I can drag, so right now, all this terminal, so we call this terminal. Of course, this is the terminal. So terminal means the server. So all of this belongs to, everything you are seeing here belongs to this server. So I can, yeah. So I can go and copy, let me see. Show local. So I can copy, I can copy from my local machine into this server. So let's see some of those things we downloaded. Template. No folder. Okay. You can clone from GitHub. If you want to get familiar with VS Code, I'm going to share a lab with you. Okay. So you navigate all those tricks. It took me a while to be able to do all. Yeah, I need to sign into my GitHub. So if I have a GitHub and I want to do a Git pull from GitHub, directories from GitHub, I'm just going to connect to my GitHub platform. So it wants me to sign in, but I don't think I want to sign into GitHub right now. So let's go into our Linux. So these are Linux. These are Linux environments. I shared some books on Linux. Please, if you scroll back, or if you go and check the library in our Telegram channel, you will see some books I shared on Linux. Please keep those books, put them in your library. You never can tell when you're going to need them. So I want to check this. I just got a job, right? So I just got a job with maybe it's any company, United Nations or federal government, and this is my Linux server. So I want to check. So what are the contents of my server? Right? What do I have in this server? This is not a Windows server where you can just click around. So you need to run this command ls list. There's nothing here. If I want to see hidden files, I want to make this bigger. Yes. Can you see anything that zoomed in? Is this okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yes.
So let's do this. So ls -al, that lists all. So ls, nothing. But now, I mean list all files, including hidden files. In Windows, there's a checkbox at the top of your screen where you can show hidden files, right? Once you check that box, you will see hidden files. So that's the same thing we're trying to do here. So those are the hidden files, the profile, the SSH connection. So it's running on VS Code, so it needs some permission. Now, these are permissions. What you are seeing on this left side are permissions. So look at this screen. Look at my screen very well. Everybody look at my screen. How can you differentiate what is a folder and what is a file? If you look at my screen now, if I say, okay, go to a file. You have two files on this server. Launch one of the files. So how will you determine which is a file, which is a folder, which is a directory? In Linux, we call it directory. Huh? You can see D now. Anywhere you see D, that means it's a directory, it's a folder. What you call folder in Windows is directory in Linux. So how many directories do we have here? Everybody.
5.
5.
5.
1.
Yeah, 5, I think.
2, 3, 4, 5. So those are the direct, but of course, they are hidden directories, so we're not going to bother ourselves. So if I want to create a file, right? If I want to create a file here, so use the touch command. Touch blex.txt. Now let's do blex.sh. So if it's a .sh, what does that mean? That means it's a bash script. Bash is a Linux script. If it is .json, it becomes a JSON file. What else? What other extension do you know? If it is .yaml, it becomes a YAML file, which could be for Docker, for Kubernetes deployments, or Ansible deployments, right? If it is .txt, just a text file. If it is .doc, it becomes a Word file. So we want to do a .sh. I want to create a file. These are do touch blex.sh. If I want to confirm whether that file was created, what do you do? ls, was it created? I want to create a directory. So what's the command for creating a directory? mkdir, make directory. That's what they say, mkdir. So what's the name of the directory? Blex deployments, blex underscore. So unlike Windows where you can add spaces, Linux doesn't understand spaces. So you have to join it. So for the most times, you're going to use an underscore, blex underscore development. So I'm creating a development directory here. Blex underscore development. So let's confirm if this directory was created ls. Can you see? The file was created. So let me, okay. I think I should already share this document with you. So how do I navigate into this directory? So we're going to do cd, change directory. All right, cd, change directory, blex tab. Can you see that tilde the other time? Once again, tilde is here, right? So that means home. So this is my home. So as an engineer, as a security architect, whatever you're doing, solutions architect, you might be navigating from one directory to another. Right? It's like layers of onion. You are navigating in and in and in and in. So sometimes when you want to run a script, you have to be sure that you are in the right location to run that script. When you want to run a command, you want to be sure that you are in the right location to run that command. So how do I ensure that I'm in the right command at every given point in time? Periodically, as you're running your tasks, there's something you want to do. pwd, always run this command before you make a deployment. pwd means present working directory. So it's going to show you your exact location that I'm in /home /Azure user /blex development. So usually this last will tell you the directory you are in currently. But this is how you navigate to the directory from home to Azure user. So I'm in Blex development now. I want to make another directory, mkdir. Blex underscore test. I'm going to do ls. So let's do pwd again. Can you see? Let me clear screen. So pwd. Can you see now? So what if I want to move this file? Remember the file we created initially? So what if I want to move that file into this current location? I just need to note the present working directory. Because you can't be navigating in and out, in and out, in and out. It's going to be a messed up. It's going to be a messed up environment. So I can actually navigate into my files now. So these are the files. So as you are creating them, you see if I click on open folder, to take me to my directories that I'll be creating. Okay. You see all of those ls-al, all of those items that were listed. Look at them here. Blex development. Look at the file. So we want to move this file. We want to move it into where? Okay, this is a directory, Blex test. So there is a file, okay, blex.sh. Blex.sh is in Blex, is in the home directory. Look at it. Can you see? tilde/blex.sh. So this is in the home. Blex-_development is a different directory in itself. Blex test is a different directory. So we want to move blex.sh into blex test. So open terminal. So go to terminal. So let's do pwd here. Home user, ls. Can you see? Blex.sh is here. And Blex development. So, and we are going into Blex development.txt. Copy path. So this is the path. So I want to move blex.sh. So this is what I'm going to do. What's the command for moving files? I want to cut. I'm not doing copy and paste. I want to cut the file, just like you do in the Windows. So you move, in Linux you call it move. So mv. So I'm going to state the current location. So remember to name the file blex.sh. So I'm going to state the directory for this one. Copy path. Right. So I want to move blex.sh to the directory blex.test. So let's see if this will work. Can you see? So if I do a cd, sorry, ls-al. Can you see? So I said ls-al. So in Linux, always pay attention to whatever is last. It could be a file, it could be a directory. So I said, okay, go ahead. I'm querying without navigating into Blex-test. I just said, okay, where's the file? It was created as it should be. So this is a bash script. You won't find it here now. So I have to go in. Can you see? So this is a bash script. Now, let's create a script. Let's create a bash script to create a server. Or in fact, just leave it. The name is how do you run a bash script? Control C. All right. So how do we run a bash script? Let's navigate to this location. So now I want to navigate to a directory. So don't include the name of the file. So ls lex.sh. So we want to run this file. // .sh. Yeah, I need the permission to run this task. Let's do sudo. So I need admin rights to be able to run this task. But what I wanted to show us was the command. If I want to run this script, just do /name of script. So I need an admin rights to be able to run the script here. It's like I'm making a deployment and I need admin access to perform that task. I don't have the admin rights here. Any question? Are we following? Are we here?
Yes.
So let's consult this document. Okay, Linux directory structure. All right. So there's the bin, there's the binary file, right? Binary executables. There's the boot directory, there's the dev. So for instance, we are in this server now. So you might be having issues. Developers might be saying, oh, this server is offline. I can't run some tasks. Clear. I can't run some tasks and it's getting frustrating. So you might want to check what's the memory. So how do you check the memory of your Windows machines? If you want to check the capacity of your Windows, of your Linux, do df-h. So right now it's going to give you see all those, look at it. Okay. You see all those directories. So dev, there's the dev, there's the TMPF /etc. So you just want to be familiar with each of these directories. This contains configuration files. So if I do, so some of these directories will require administrative access to be able to navigate to them. So let's do this /cd/etc. Okay, I'm in there. ls. So this is my /etc. All these sudo. Okay. So these are the admin people that have admin access. Sudo as this is a script. If you are a Linux administrator, you always have something to do here. You always, troubleshooting, because this is where we have configuration files to control the operation of programs. It also contains scripts used to start up and shut down individual programs. So you always have something to do in the /etc/library. So if I want to exit this directory if I want to exit this directory, let's do cd ... It's going to take me all the way home. Or if I do cd tilde, infinity, where is it? If you do cd tilde, it will take you home as well. It will take you home, all the way home. So let's do cd library. So look at it. Home, library, root, media, run. So these are different directories that makes the Linux servers to run. So etc cron, let's see if it's here. etc cron, look at it. So cron jobs, one run cron assignments. So you hear cron tabs, cron jobs. So the scripts that are executed daily, hourly, monthly, weekly, all of them are going to be in this cron directory. All these are, if they are colored in blue, they are directories. If they are colored in white, they are files, Python, everything. So I want you to please go through this document. All right, path names. So remember, those are path names. If I do pwd now, okay, this is where I am. So that's my path /